300 feet beneath the surface, the ocean was a world of crushing pressure and absolute silence. Here, light did not exist. War was fought with sound. Commander Li Wei, of the People's Liberation Army Navy, Plan, wiped a bead of sweat from his forehead. He was the captain of the Great Wall, 366, a Type 039C UN-class submarine. It was an AIP, air-independent propulsion boat, capable of staying submerged for weeks, running on liquid oxygen and quiet electric motors. It was the stealthiest predator in the Chinese arsenal. Sonar contact, the petty officer whispered, his hands pressing the headphones against his ears. Surface targets, bearing 220, range 15 kilometers. Acoustic signature matches the Vikrant battle group. They are running active sonar, Captain. The destroyers are pinging. Lee nodded. The Vikrant was the prize. If he could put a torpedo into the Indian carrier, the blockade would crumble, and the psychological blow to India would be fatal. But the water here was shallow, the littoral zone, filled with thermal layers and background noise from the thousands of merchant ships. It was a sniper's alley. "Rig for ultra-quiet," Lee ordered. "Drop speed to 3 knots. We will drift into their wake. Let the tanker noise mask us." The Great Wall, 366, crept forward, a black shark moving through the abyss. Lee watched the waterfall display on the sonar console. The bright lines represented the Indian destroyers, the sheepdogs protecting the carrier. He needed to slip past them to get a firing solution on the Wolf, the eye in the sky, 5,000 feet above. A P-8 with Neptune, maritime patrol aircraft, banked sharply. Flight Lieutenant Anjali Basin stared at her sensor suite. The P-8I was the most advanced submarine hunter in the world, equipped with magnetic anomaly detectors, MAD, and a bellyful of sonobuoys. "I have a thermal scar," Anjali said into her comms. "Sector 4, the water is slightly warmer there. Could be a diesel engine exhaust plume from a snorting sub or just a current." "Drop a pattern," the tactical coordinator, Taco, ordered. "Active, boys. Let's wake him up." Anjali toggled the release. From the belly of the aircraft, a series of cylinders dropped into the ocean. Upon hitting the water, they deployed hydrophones and began to ping, high-frequency shrieks of sound that traveled for miles. The acoustic trap. On the Great Wall, 366, the sound of the pings hitting the hull sounded like hammers striking steel. Ping, ping, ping. "They have us," the sonar officer hissed. "Active buoy right on top of us." "Hard dive," Lee shouted. "Deploy countermeasures, knuckles." The submarine lurched as it angled down, aiming for the thermal layer, a band of cold water that would reflect sonar waves and hide them. The knuckles were acoustic decoys that created a cloud of bubbles, confusing the enemy sensors. But the Indian destroyers were already reacting. The INS Visakhapatnam turned sharply, its bow slicing through the waves. From its deck, RBU 6000 anti-submarine rockets were launched. Mortars designed not to hit the sub directly, but to create a wall of concussive pressure that would force it to surface or crack its hull. Boom, boom, boom. The ocean floor shook. Inside the Great Wall, the lights flickered and pipes groaned. A seal in the torpedo room burst, spraying high-pressure water. "We're taking damage!" the executive officer yelled. "The pressure hull is compromising." Lee looked at his chart. He had no choice. If he stayed deep, the pressure would kill them. If he surfaced, the destroyers would kill them. "Fire tubes 1 and 2, Lee ordered. "Target the lead destroyer, wire-guided, then blow emergency ballast. We are surfacing." The kinetic exchange. "Torpedo in the water." The sonar operator on the Visakhapatnam screamed. "High-speed screw, bearing 040. It's a U-6 heavyweight." "Hard to port," the captain roared. "Drop-towed decoy, fire anti-torpedo measures." The destroyer heeled over so violently that sailors were thrown against the bulkheads. Behind the ship, the Marik anti-torpedo system fired a decoy that mimicked the acoustic signature of the ship's propellers. The Chinese torpedo, confused by the louder, more attractive target, veered away from the ship and detonated against the decoy. A massive plume of water erupted behind the destroyer, shaking the vessel to its keel. Moments later, the ocean surface broke. The Great Wall, 366, breached like a dying whale, foam cascading off its black conning tower. It bobbed helplessly in the swell, smoke pouring from its hatches. "Target surfaced," the weapons officer on the Visakhapatnam reported. "Main gun locked." The captain looked at the crippled submarine through his binoculars. Sailors were scrambling out of the hatch, waving white flares. "Cease fire," the captain ordered. "They are surrendering. Get a boarding party ready." "We just caught a live one,"